So you guys can all help that, make it happen. Head on over to the link, head on over to the Trevor Project, or just donate in the chat because that will all be heading over there as well. Thank you for continued support. Let's get into this. It's grand finals here between Anarchy and Charan. Charan coming in on winner's side, Anarchy coming in on loser's side, Ooble.
Yeah, and this looks like we're kicking off with a bang here, Laird, because that is just a stock. All it takes sometimes is one jump read, one read off stage in general. You can find a Shadow Sneak or a Water Shuriken or a Deep Backer, whatever it is. It's enough to close out a stock, and Anarchy has been landing those since I've tuned in, which has been for quite a few sets at this point.
If you don't know this young man's name, maybe write it down somewhere. This kid's going to be the hot new thing in a couple of weeks. He had a really, really good showing at Shine last year. He's playing really, really well already. He took that first stock in 12 seconds, Ooble.
That's all you need sometimes, especially given how Rob's escape options are kind of circuited on like upbeat jump and air dodge, two of which ascend in height, and Greninja covers without even a second thought. His jump height and double jump height are just so good. Maybe some suspect DI on that up air, but either way, that stock is once again taken, and Anarchy looking no worse for wear. 80% on the first stock is not much at all, especially with that match. Holy!
You've had your hot takes of the evening. I think my hot take of the evening is that was not bad DI. That was just like how high that double jump brings Greninja up in the air, and also how short the ceiling is on Pokemon Stadium 2. That was probably why that stock was taken so darn early. But got catch the air dodge. Goes for another one. The double down Anarchy. Double priority on those Shadow Sneaks. He's going to be casting a 3 stock into the mix here. Charan on the back foot already.
Goddamn. That is a statement and a half to kick off grand finals. Like, all right, I'm coming from losers. I'm rocking through. Has Anarchy... No, Anarchy has not dropped a game since heading into losers, and he's looking to keep it like that with gameplay on display, not even hitting 100% before sealing that game out.
This kid is the real thing, guys. He is really good at this game, and he is so good at reading your opponent's bad habits. That's the thing about Greninja. You're playing a 50-50 game against him constantly. He's got true combos, he's got confirms, but when you get hit by one of those 50-50s, like, I don't know, a dash attack, maybe one of those down tilts at varying percentages, and also the different hitboxes of those down tilts too, you might be like, oh, he's going to come hit me. Let me air dodge through it. Well, if he reads that, sorry, man, you're in deep shit. We're getting onto this. It's game 2. No stage switches already, but Charan right now in a much better position than they were at this point during the last match.
Yeah, I mean, early damage, surviving in the beginning. We've surpassed 12 seconds, so... you know, everything's coming up sunny right now, but you're just getting caught by some of the game plan that Greninja puts you in just so reliably. When the character isn't, like you mentioned earlier, Larry, like setting you up for crazy 50-50s, he's putting you in this blender that to cover a lot of options with simply running and dash attack, crouching landings, catching tech situations. Greninja's dash attack is the focal point of his offense, and Anarchy is really making you feel not only with dash attack but also with a lot of like landing nair mix-ups and utilizing the low landing line to cover one with an aerial and then pivot into that said dash attack.
And I just love how Anarchy right now is using his kill confirm, his kill option, his forward air. That is another one of his main neutral deciders because, you know, it's pretty safe on shield. It's got some really good spacing options to it. And look at that. I mean, the fade away as the move comes out and then gets the down smash to put his opponent in the blender. I mean, Anarchy playing so nicely right now. But Charan, they're doing their very best to come out and into it as well. But then again, like I said, that forward air, man.
It's huge. It's absolutely Greninja's best spacing tool. Oh, got hit with the weird hit of the gyro. Sent straight down, and unfortunately that is a missed Z catch from Charan, getting air dodge catch instead, and directional air dodge at that. Not enough time to recover, and that's an unfortunate unforced error, but one that Anarchy is seeming just to take in stride because there is no slowing down this frog.
Yep, we take those indeed. So far, since Charan has lost that second stock, Anarchy has been like a single man pack of piranhas running all over the place right now.
I think it's so fun, like, watching Anarchy, like, have these ready and prepared counterplay situations for options that he's been presenting. As I mentioned earlier, he's doing a lot of landing Nair to mix into, like, the immediate dash attacks or the immediate down tilts, like all the grounded moves, like air to ground for a lot of these openings. Well, what happens when your opponent tries to catch the timing on Nair and parry it? It's a very solid edge guard from Charan, but the mix-in of down airs and neutral airs from Anarchy at these similar spacings has been so good. On top of the coin flip scenarios that Charan just always seems to be one step behind in, almost dropping the stock for that earlier forward air, and is on the ledge because of it.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, Anarchy is putting the 50-50s to work, and yep, down tilt forward air, El Clasico, one of the best confirms in the game. Anarchy on the precipice of a reset here.
Yeah, and looking clean while doing it, all things considered. Like, that was just, like, it's how you draw it up when you're playing against Rob. Like, in at least one of two ways you draw it up. Like, one of them is that you're able to shut down Rob on his landings by parrying Nair, covering a lot of space, making sure that Rob, like, has to burn a lot of fuel or just go straight to ledge and feel the weight of that big body. The other side is to smother him completely, chase in the air, go after him, make sure that when he's landing or when he's trying to come down or at the apex of his jump, you're sniping him out to force options to come out earlier and earlier, and thus leaving windows of time open when those landing aerials aren't as precise. Super clean stuff from Anarchy just to try and keep Charan off balance throughout the entirety of these games. He's looking for a 3-0 and to reset.
You know, at the start of this new game, I really think that the big thing that Charan's been starting to incorporate that's been working out is these short hop nairs. They're quick, they're not quick, but you know, they cover a good amount of movement, and on top of that, it's just an active hitbox that you can move while your opponent is doing their low profiling dash and these dash attacks. And Nair's so big, it just hits, and Charan actually in a very favorable position right now, nearly a full stock up.
Gets the parry on the Nair, but faded to the wrong side. Anarchy allowed to get a solid combo off of it, looking to frame trap the air dodge, but just barely missing on the drift. Went a little bit too far. Doing some solid gyro control, but Charan finding a lot of good scrambles, just able to come down and press out a down tilt before Anarchy was able to find a down through their own to set up for an up smash. And as soon as you're out of down tilt up smash confirms, you're just forced to find a raw forward air, which thankfully for Anarchy does find one on the neutral getup, allowing you to get right back into this blender. Charan, though, you need to hold out here, and you need to make sure you've got enough space in order to get down. Ooh, the falling up air there, where it was super clean, able to set up for a nice little bit of damage of his own.
No matter what character we're talking about, I am never upset to see a falling up air. You know, using a move that pops your opponent up in a perfect position to go for more combos and simultaneously canceling the end leg of that move to prepare you for it, it's always really nice to see. I am a big fan of it. And the characters like Rob, whose up airs are huge and lingering and multi-hits, are so fun.
Looking for another falling up air there as well, which could have comboed into potentially an up tilt or just going for the down smash there to anticipate a pop out. Super even game here in the second stock situation, going for the substitute, but didn't look like it didn't work out at all. This is not a regrab, but you are on ledge against Rob. That forward tilt, we've been seeing a lot of forward tilt as a solid spacing mix-up coming out from Anarchy, and it's worked out time and time again. It's just this full range option, able to keep the space between himself and Charan, which then can turn into any sort of imaginative movement tool that Anarchy has at his disposal.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Anarchy is it never looks like he's wasting any movement. He's never doing something haphazardly. There's always intention behind it. And whenever you're playing at a level like that, where you're not just like trying to piece things together, where you are constantly thinking about how every button you press will improve your position, oh, it's beautiful. It's poetry watching players like this.
Excessive movement characters do be moving excessively. Sometimes you have to, but you have to do it with a purpose, or else people will catch on to your habits and catch on to your timings.
And they won't be afraid.
Like so. Oh, for sure.
Anarchy makes you afraid.
Gotta watch out for these back air though. First time, the first time this entire set where Anarchy is really behind the 8 ball going into the final stock. But the blender begins to cross up. Charan not ready for that down tilt as he gets another up smash rip, looking for the parry, but the down air comes in to bait out that timing.
Dude, that up air or that up smash was really smart, but it was even smarter that Anarchy went for the water shuriken to pop him up in the air a little bit so he wouldn't fall into that. That was really good heads-up play on his part.
Ooh, the roll in, Charan was right, but just misspaced it. Was sent a little bit too far because of the damage on Anarchy already. Final last hit situation, gets the weird hit of up smash. On the platform, it's always going to be a little bit awkward, but at these percents, the ledge trump! And that does it! Ledge Trump Bear takes game number 3 for Anarchy, leading to a 3-0 grand finals, and what an option, and the smoothest of Ledge Trumps to close out that first set of grands. Very nice stuff.